By the end of this week, we knew from Monday that we would get to the finals of the World Cup. The greatest sporting activity on the planet is coming to a head this weekend. Tomorrow, France and England will play for the third, fourth playoffs. And on Sunday, Argentina takes on Spain in the final of the World Cup. Now, joining us in the studio this morning is a man who knows all of this. Sports reporter and anchor Robinson Okenye for the Standard Group is here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Du. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine.
We all call you Robbie. So
Yes.
can we call you Robbie for the purposes of this conversation?
Definitely.
Let's move. You know now what we're going to subject you to? We need you to interpret our proverb today.
Proverb.
Yes.
I thought I'm here for sports.
Yes, don't worry.
Don't
As
worry.
we pass, you see,
Play
to get
with
into the
it.
building, you have to pass the
Yes.
door.
Play with the proverb.
Oh, that's the door.
Play
Before
with the
the
proverb.
match starts, see,
Yes.
somebody has to blow a whistle.
Yeah.
That's a problem, the whistle.
Oh, labda. Oh, maybe we can do it when we finish.
No, we are the referees and we decide how the match goes.
But you know, the players also influence the referee,
Yes, as we will discuss today.
as we have seen in this World Cup.
Yeah.
No, VAR says play on.
Play on,
So,
yeah. So, yeah, the proverb now is from Libya, and it says, the tongue has no bone, but it's strong enough to break a heart. The tongue has no bone, but it's strong enough to break a heart. What do you think the Libyans are saying?
Can I give you an example?
Yes.
And I will use football.
Yes.
England thought they would be in the final. They were out there saying it's coming home. They're playing in the third place playoff.
Yeah.
It's not coming home.
It's not coming home.
Yeah.
They are best
Rocket.
loser. Best loser.
Best loser.
The tongue wasn't so strong. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start from the beginning of this tournament. And of course, we know what the World Cup is. Greatest sporting activity on the planet. And every 4 years we come. First time, well, maybe second time, that it's tripartite in terms of hosting with the US, North America, Mexico, and Canada. That comes into play. And were there favourites from the beginning for this World Cup, or are we very surprised by the outcome now that we're getting into the final 2 days?
Nobody's surprised. I mean, we had favourites coming into this World Cup. France was the outright favourite for this World Cup. And then you can never rule out the defending champions, Argentina. Yes, they were also favourite. England, they'll always be there in that conversation. Yeah, they might not make it to the final, but they'll always be there in that conversation because most of the time we watch all these players that play for the English national football team, that is the Three Lions, and we know how good they are. But you see, at the moment, they're playing for the third place playoff. So England will always be there. Spain, we've seen what they did at the Euros. They won the Euros. They won the UEFA Nations League. So you also have to put them in that equation. So those four teams plus Portugal, which of course did dismally as compared to what we expected, because it has some of the best players that we have in the world. Yes, so those five teams, they were the outright favorites. Yeah, don't ask me if there was an African team that was a favorite.
Congo wasn't?
Well, that was my next question. There were some hopes for Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were hopes for Africa because the last World Cup we had Morocco get to the semi-finals where they were knocked out by France. This time they got to the quarter-finals, knocked out by the same opposition. Yes, France.
Yeah.
But I think when you take a look at Morocco, the thing that you have to admire is the structures that they have put. And that is where you will always see them somewhere there in the quarters or the semi-finals like they did last time. So I think that is why most people are admiring them, and there are people who feel like they don't feel like Africans, so we should not really support them, but at the same time they're representing the continent of Africa.
But Robbie, you see, as we talk about the World Cup, right?
Yes.
You've talked about structures. You've mentioned as well that if you look at Euro and Spain performing well, you look at Americans and them doing their thing, we look at our continent. What is it we're not getting right for us to say that we are sure that the teams that then proceed to the World Cup are able to compete with these other teams that are out there based off structures that we have put in place? What are we getting wrong?
Seto, you see, take a look at the example of Morocco. In the last 8 or so years, they've had a team in the under 17 World Cup get to the semi-finals. They've had a team that has won the under 17 Africa Cup of Nations that has gotten to the final. They've had a team in the under 17 Africa Cup of Nations that was played this year that got eliminated in the semi-finals. They had a team that won the Under-21 Africa Cup of Nations, which has contributed roughly 20% of the players that are in the national team at the moment. You take a look at their structures, from the way they've set their academies. You take a look at how they've set, aside from the academies, how they've laid down structures in terms of, infrastructure, their pitches. They have, it's a long-term project that over the years has worked for them. That is why even if you look at the Africa Club competitions, you'll always see a Moroccan club either in the semi-finals or the finals. Case in point, you have Wydad Casablanca, Raja Casablanca. There's Bakane. They have teams that they've set up their football ecosystem in a way that it's now giving back. They got into the quarterfinals of the World Cup. You know what the returns are? They're getting almost 16 billion Kenya shillings.
16 billion.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, so imagine reinvesting that back in football in your country.
Yeah. And that's interesting because as you put it.
Just before you continue.
Right.
So ask yourself, when you have a team like Senegal who come out and tell you that we've just noticed that our team doctor is a gynecologist. Yeah. How does that resonate?
They've just
so strengthening and fitness outside the window. Let's look at reproduction. Okay.
Now I wish it was a production of quality talent they're focusing on. But there's something to be said about what you're saying. Investment of the infrastructure that can produce a national team that can go to compete in a world arena. Because if you look locally, our structures are quite wanting. Many countries that are participating in the World Cup today, they have their mini leagues, like whether it is Serie A, the equivalent of a Division 1, Division 2, Super League and all that are highly active. And you see those players that end up in the national team, they're already doing very well in their local teams and the leagues where they participate. So I think Africa has a huge gap to fill, save for now the way you're saying Morocco and South Africa. But that being a fact, for the first time, we've had an opportunity to expand participation at the World Cup from 32 to 48 teams.
Yes.
One would have hoped at least one of our African teams still would have escalated to a level whereby today we'll be saying, at least we have a best loser. How does that sit with you that even with the expansion, still we have not seen any significant improvement on the performance of our African teams?
Actually, there's been a significant improvement. You look at it this way. The last World Cup, we only had 2 teams because the last World Cup we had, it was 32 teams.
Yes.
And now it was expanded to 48. In the 32 teams format, we had only one African team move to the next round of the competition, and that was Morocco.
Yeah.
Now we had 48 teams. We had 9 out of the 10 teams that qualified. 9 made it to the round of 32.
But now they're all out.
Yeah, they're all out. But also, you look at it this way, that with the expanded format, at least we can make it out of the group stage. We had DR Congo make it out. We had Senegal, Morocco. You had Egypt. You had... we had 10 countries. So only Tunisia did not make it out. Only Tunisia. And we have Ivory Coast, South Africa, Ghana. They all made it. Only Tunisia did not make it out. And the reason Tunisia did not make it out, things that we are used with when it comes to African, we say Africa, Africa is our business. They fired the coach after the first game. They had to bring in another coach going into the second game. After they were defeated in the third game,
they fired that coach.
That coach was fired. So sometimes we normally do things in I don't want to say blindly, because you see, you've had this coach all through the qualifiers. Tunisia never lost a game in the African qualifiers. They never lost a game, and then you are here in the World Cup. You've lost the first match because there were issues in the federation. You lose the first match, and then after that you have to go. Look at France. How long have they stuck with Didier Deschamps? For more than a decade, and in that decade, or more than that decade, they have been to the finals in 2018. They were in the finals in 2022. They've been eliminated in 2026.
Right.
Those are 12 years. that he's taken them there. Luis de la Fuente, he came in after Luis Enrique was fired for Spain. He got them to the UEFA Nations League finals. He's won the Euro with them. He's now in the World Cup final with them for the first time since 2010. Yeah, I mean, there has to be a long-term plan for a coach. Case in point, I know you've watched Germany for a long time. Joachim Löw.
Yeah.
Anytime we saw Germany from, I think, around 2006 to around 2014, he was the coach.
Yeah.
We all knew Joachim Löw, anytime Germany is playing, Joachim Löw will be on the touchline doing some shenanigans, which I don't want to talk about. But you see, you look at these top teams that we have in the world, they normally stick with one coach who knows what they really want. And you take a look at these top teams, they have a structure of play for like Spain. You know, Spain, it's all about tiki-taka. Yes. Most people were amazed at how they played against France. But that has always been their style of play. France has always been, since Didier Deschamps took over, it has been a defensive team. They always defend, hit you on the counter. That is how they won even the World Cup. So, something that we Africans probably don't appreciate is that we need to have a system of play that even players growing from a very young age, they know this is how we as Kenya are supposed to play this way. We as Tanzania are supposed to play this way. Because you look, again, case in point, Spain. You look at them at the moment, all the players that are in that team, they were at a certain point coached by Luis de la Fuente because he was an under-21 coach. They went through his system. So when it brings you to the national team, you definitely know what you're supposed to do. So he doesn't need to put in some new knowledge into you.
Okay. So, far be it from us to imagine that such a huge event over the world, but even beyond the World Cup, is played almost every month of the year. But since we're focusing on the World Cup, far be it from us to imagine that it is not political in nature as well. Gianni Infantino has come under sharp scrutiny for issues of corruption within FIFA, just like his predecessor, Sepp Blatter, also did face some of those. When is the issue of corruption within FIFA going to be dealt with? I don't know that we've seen another event where a president of a country, whether you're hosting or not, can actually have a say in whether a red card for Balogun can be called back or not. Have we seen something like that? And why would we not have a football governing body actually step in and say, sorry, Mr. President, you can't call your trump card here?
For this World Cup, I think we could all see how that influence from USA was coming because before the World Cup, I think it was like 1 year before the World Cup, FIFA awarded Trump a Global Peace Award.
The golden.
And yet, after that, there was the war in Iran. Which, USA was part of it. And then you ask yourself, how do you award somebody a peace prize? And yet this person is out there saying that we will bomb Iran, we will do all this and this and this. And then we come to the World Cup. You could clearly see that their decisions or decisions favored towards the so-called, politically strong or powerful countries in the world. I mean, we all saw the videos of how the Senegalese players were being, screened at the airport. But there were other countries that were being treated well. So you ask yourself, is FIFA, should be standing for everyone? We are all equal. That's why they always they always call for respect for each and every player. And then you ask yourself, so if we are coming to the USA and this is happening, to the so-called, smaller or fringe teams, why is not FIFA talking? Why is it that you are having a game where a player is rightfully sent off, and then the president of a country comes out saying that, I spoke to FIFA, I spoke to Infantino, and
we had to review
that decision. You have to have the best player in our country play in the next game, and then FIFA obliges to that, and then they rescind that red card.
But Ruby, you see, even then there is, because Iran also made it. But we also know the politics that were in, because even Iran, where they were going to spend their nights, where they were training, where they will play their games.
They actually changed their training ground from USA to Mexico.
Exactly, and even then you look at FIFA and its position on fairness for everybody. For the game, because at that point it's like elections. IEBC plays there. When it comes to football, FIFA should control each and every single thing, including logistics on where their players would be playing. So is there an indictment on Gianni Infantino and FIFA on how it has managed this World Cup? How they allowed politics that does not involve them to be front and center in it?
I think FIFA shot themselves in the foot. Because when you look at it, if we have...
They scored their own goal.
They scored their own goal. Yeah. Because you see, a country like Kenya, if the government tries to interfere with whatever is happening with the FKF, we will be suspended. And then they will bring in, a committee to oversee and bring in some new leadership. But here we have the US meddling with what FIFA is doing, and nothing. Nobody's speaking. The only federation that was continental federation that came out and said that whatever is happening at FIFA at the moment is outrightly wrong. It was UEFA, and because UEFA, they know they have a powerful voice, and at the moment, rumors are they're advocating for the removal of Gianni Infantino, because the elections will be held next year. But also, Gianni is also smart. He knows that if UEFA don't want him, there are people that he can hold their hands who have more countries. Case in point, CAF.
But then
that's where corruption comes in.
His brother before him was accused of the same thing. Sepp Blatter before him was accused of the same thing.
That's where the corruption comes in.
And he's the one who was so loud, actually, on trying to see Sepp Blatter leave. Now, when you look at this geopolitics, then it begs for the question, could it be that even some African countries and other competent teams have been rigged out in one way or the other? Because even come back to AFCON, we saw a final decision being overturned between Senegal and Morocco.
Yes.
So, the question of
add the adjective unfairly.
Unfairly.
Because Senegal won fairly.
Indeed. Yes. So you look at the level of interference and you wonder, where is the fairness? Because even the expansion, again, I fall back on that point of participation to 48 teams, was to enhance inclusivity and improve the quality of the game and also diversity. But if you're still going to end up with as you said, the expected outcome, like the final teams are most likely to be, you have a short list already. Does this mean that the quality of the game never improves, or the structure is skewed in a manner that it has to be certain teams that make it to the final, in a manner of speaking?
No, it's not about certain teams making it to the final. Because there are teams that naturally have good players.
Right.
Yes. You look at France. I mean, take a look at Mbappe. If not the best player at this World Cup, he's the second.
Okay.
Look at Olise.
Messi.
Olise.
Look at Dembele. He's a Ballon d'Or winner. I mean, you take a look at their starting 11.
Right.
They're basically a team full of stars. And these are not stars that have just come out of nowhere. Because Mbappe, we started seeing him when he was 17. And you look at where he is now at 27. Those are 10 years down the line.
Right.
I mean, we've seen his progression, and we've seen how he's managed to make himself become better by the year. Right now, everybody's talking about Lamine Yamal, who's 19 years, who just turned 19 the other day,
Right.
I think on Tuesday, turned 19. We've seen him since he was 16. So imagine when he will be at 32. Messi is at 39 right now. We started seeing him when he was 18. So there are countries actually that know how to develop these young players. You ask yourself, people think that Neymar is old. Neymar is only 33. But people think that he's old
because he's been
because
around
we've
for-
seen him since he was 16, and because we've seen how well he's progressed through the years and how well he's been managed through the years, how well they can keep managing the players to keep churning out more players throughout the years. So I think that is where the disparity comes in. Like, you have good players, but you don't know what to do with these good players. But there are teams that have good players and they know what to do with those players. Yes.
Now, in your own personal opinion,
Yes.
of course, the list was long, but are you satisfied with the final four? Are you disappointed? Are there teams you really hoped would be there, but they are not?
I'm satisfied with the final four.
You're satisfied with
I'm
the final
satisfied
four.
with the final
There is
four.
no favorite
Because
that was out.
No.
Argentina Jabebwa.
Argentina.
There's also that talk that
Okay.
Argentina.
Yeah, because it has been said, because even when it's Argentina that I think defeated Morocco.
Argentina, no.
No, it was France. It was France that
they
defeated
defeated
Morocco.
Egypt.
So there has been
I know
been
you are
those
talking
talks.
about the game against Egypt.
Yes, where then there are suspicion that it was robbed against Egypt. Egypt should I mean, some of the decisions that are made should have been relooked. Then you look at even the recent game. I was following up on an individual who, an English citizen, and he was saying, I'm looking at the game and the best three players, I can look at them. Guess who the three players were? The referees, the three of them, they're the ones who are training, and refers to them as the best players in the field.
But you know,
so one asks the
when you're
question.
losing-
One asks the question.
That's a sole loser.
How about your Jabebwa? They have not just decided that the GOAT carries this thing again. Or some decisions are questionable.
You see, what they say, referees are to error, but we have VR.
Oh.
That is the good thing about, the whole World Cup. But the whole World Cup.
Yeah.
You asked me about the game against Egypt, where they won 2-1.
Yes.
And this is something that has been happening to African teams, losing late on in the games. Look at all the African teams that went through to the round of 32. The last 10 minutes, that's when they would actually, concede, and then they were knocked out, aside from Morocco. But that game against Egypt, if you ask me, they had a comfortable 2-0 lead. Comfortable. Why not protect your lead?
But there were allegations of this is racism. Oh,
Yeah.
racism.
That
did not feature anyway.
With Robbie, the
Why
same
not
way.
protect your lead? England,
They had a lead,
Yeah.
one down.
They had scored the goal
But-
without the racism.
But if it has been engineered, if it has been planned, if you
No,
have the
not
three
in
best
play.
players
But
who
you
are
scored-
referees,
you
but you
the goal.
scored first.
Fast,
it's
twice.
been- Exactly.
Twice. You
We've
scored
scored
first,
twice.
twice.
But still, the game has been engineered to
Yeah.
call wrong moves for us to be
No.
defeated. Anyway, is it true?
You
though?
see,
Is it true?
football is a game of who scores more.
Okay.
That is how you win. if you don't score, you don't
Don't win.
win.
You
And
don't
it's a
win.
knockout stage.
Yes.
And for me, that game, I think Egypt let emotions carry the day.
Okay.
They let emotions carry the day. They had a 2-0 advantage, and then when it was towards the dying game of or towards the dying minutes of the game, when Argentina really upped the tempo rather, and Messi started showing up, they felt that some decisions were going against them. But for this World Cup, the only thing that I know, and I can confirm to you, from the games that I've watched, there's only one protected player,
Yeah.
and that is Lionel Messi.
Okay.
Because any slight foul or any slight touch on him, it's normally a foul. But the rest of the players, as they say, wait.
Does that,
Are you
does that
saying- are you
equate
saying-
Yes,
to
the match
foul
fixing.
play?
Are you saying he's treated differently?
Yeah, definitely Messi is treated differently. He's the greatest of all time.
Is he
You
a-
have to treat him differently.
Is it the egg? Why?
But he's still playing within the same rules. like
Yeah.
any-
Yeah. He's still playing within the same rules,
Yeah.
but he's still protected on the pitch.
Is that a proper regulation?
Using what rules?
Yeah.
No, it's not a rule that is on the book.
Yeah.
Unspoken.
It's an unspoken rule.
Is this another anti-Messi?
Aseto, you are the. Can I use standard?
Oh yes, you
Yes,
can
you
use
may.
it.
You are biggest asset.
HR, umesikia?
So he has to be protected.
Protected.
But then I would
it's an unwritten rule, and we've seen it play out.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo was not protected in this World Cup.
Because he's not
Mbappe-
the great that we
Mbappe was
understand.
not
But
protected.
But what does that do to the
Robbie,
credibility of the
And you see-
game?
With
and
all
you see,
sincerity now.
that is always in sports. That's always there.
No, with all
There's-
sincerity.
there's
LeBron
always,
James happens with him. Every time LeBron
there's-
James touches the ball, somebody comes in of him.
But what
There's
you're
always
saying,
that
happened
one
with
player
Kobe
that is
Bryant
pro-
as well.
but what
in
you're
basketball.
saying
Yes.
is very serious. It's a very serious allegation because you're saying there's unfair treatment. There's some unwritten rules that are followed.
That's the only one that I know.
That's the only one you know.
Yeah.
But are you saying, is this not coming from you being, in my opinion, an anti-Messi fan?
I'm not an anti-Messi fan.
Right.
I'm a great Messi fan.
Okay.
But I support France.
Now I understand why. But I must agree. You see, like what I said was asking about Egypt having lost. In my opinion, when Argentina was playing against England, the first half, I was apprehensive because I saw them losing. They're out of form, out of formation.
Yes.
But after they conceded that one goal, they reformatted. And they fell back into
went
their
defensive.
They went defensive, and they were also attacking because they now were playing in the half of the
English side, yeah.
English side, which played out now with a different outcome. But I'm
I mean, that is the only game that I've seen when that Argentina has played.
Yeah.
That even the people that don't like Argentina say that this has been the fairest game for Argentina in this tournament.
Yeah.
And it's because England got their tactics wrong.
Right.
Most people expected Argentina to be favored in that game, but they were not. And I'm glad that they defeated England and went through to the final, because had they won in some unscrupulous way, then the world will be burning right now, because we know the English media.
Yeah.
The world will be burning right now. But they won fair and square.
So the GOAT is just a brand, not a player. It's okay.
No, the GOAT is the GOAT.
Well, I mean, look at
I mean,
he didn't score in that match,
Yeah,
but he
but he
was
assisted,
easily
yeah.
called the greatest assist for
Yeah.
the match. That he was the one that essentially helped Argentina win that match because of how he was assisting in the 18. Clearly, the English players were taller.
Yeah.
Clearly, in the box, they're a little bit more aggressive. But they realized that what you need to do is put the ball in the middle, and Messi was the one who was delivering that.
And you see the funny thing, the scorer of the goal, that is Lautaro Martinez, is roughly 5'8".
Yeah.
He scored that
header.
goal, the header.
Yeah.
The ball went through a player that is 6'4", went through a player that is 6'2",
Right.
but fell to a player that is 5'8".
There you go.
Tactics. The GOAT organizing and assisting. It
The
is
GOAT
not.
knows when
He
to
is not
step up.
protected. It is not unfair play. The
Okay.
GOAT is just.
No, I'm
the
not
GOAT.
saying it's unfair
Messi
play.
is just
In
Messi.
case you were wondering who Joe Camania supports,
I mean,
now it's all with all
unapologetically, I'm vouching for Argentina.
So let's look at Spain a little bit, because underrated by many people to
Yes.
think that maybe it will be a hands down loss to Argentina come Sunday. But these boys have been playing through the entire tournament and just making their way through every round, with no question as to their might, right?
Yeah.
And so you've got many players on that team as well who maybe go unrecognized, but in the world spin of things, actually doing quite well on the football index. Now, what does it look like for them? Is there a likelihood that they could shake the almighty Argentina?
Definitely. I mean, you take a look at Spain, they have the meanest defense in this World Cup. They've only conceded one goal. They've played 7 games, conceded only one goal. Yes, and then you have Argentina, which is... they have probably the best attack in this World Cup. They've scored, I think, if not 18 goals so far in the tournament. But the good thing about Argentina, they concede a lot. But for Spain, it's hard to score against them. And you take a look at the players they have. Case in point, Unai Emery, not Unai Emery, but Unai Simon, who's the goalkeeper. Most people don't really rate him highly. People thought coming into this World Cup, Arsenal's David Raya will be the starting goalkeeper, but Luis de la Fuente had other, ideas. Unai Simon, and he's now gone into the history books as the goalkeeper that has gone the longest in a World Cup tournament without conceding. I think 637
minutes.
Yes,
Something like
without
that.
conceding.
Yeah.
Basically, you can just say this guy was just reading a book.
Yeah.
While the rest were playing. But you take a look at their defense line. It's made of players from because you have Jules Koundé, who plays for Barcelona. You have Kubasi, who plays for Barcelona. You have Laporte, and Cucurella, who's now moved from Chelsea to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So those are people who are experienced. Barcelona, you have two players from Barcelona who won La Liga. Come to the midfield, you have Rodri. This is a former Ballon d'Or player, Ballon d'Or winner rather, for Man City. And what we are seeing at the moment, he's gone back to the form that he was in when he won the Ballon d'Or. And most people are looking at that and saying, yeah, this is the player that we've been missing. And then alongside him, you have Fabian Ruiz, who's fresh from winning the Champions League, fresh from winning League One. I mean, those are two experienced players. And remember, the duo also won. They won the UEFA Nations League together, as well as the Euro, playing together. And then you have in front of them, you have the likes of Dani Olmo, fresh from winning La Liga with Barcelona. And then you have Alex Baena, who plays for Atletico Madrid. You have Lamine Yamal, fresh from winning La Liga with Barcelona. And then aside from them, that you do have Oyarzabal, who most people don't rate him as a striker. But so far he has 5 goals in this World Cup. Most people don't rate him. Yeah. He has 5 goals in this tournament. So it's a team that it doesn't have those screaming names, but when they come together, it's something that it's very hard to break down.
So with such a pool of talent, both sides now, Spain and Argentina, for me, they're both my favorites. Just that I have a bias.
You can't have two favorites.
Well, my bias is Argentina. I'm vouching for Argentina. But with such a pool of talent on both sides, I'm looking forward to a very entertaining final because they assume the same style of play. How are you calling it?
I think I'll go with Spain winning this. As much as I would want Argentina to win, Messi to win a second World Cup and go down in history as the greatest of all time. Nobody will ever come close to that. But I think Spain has an edge over Argentina in that they play collectively. For Argentina, the only undoing for them, it's once we get the ball, look for Messi. Let's go forward, look for Messi. We know he will do something. And definitely Messi will do something. And when you take a look at these two teams, even for Argentina, most of the players play in Spain. Yes. And Messi has been in Spain for a very long time. Yes. So when you take a look at how it's going to be, I expect Spain to still stick to their, fundamentals. Just possession. Deny Argentina the ball. And for Argentina, I know it's going to be very quick counter-attacks. Look for Messi. Messi is going to either create or score. And probably what Argentina will be looking for, probably try to be aggressive towards Spain so that they can get a player that can actually retaliate and make Messi angry. And that is what you don't want that to happen in a game. Because once he gets angry, then that is when he turns up.
I mean, that's the final, Sawa. But in 3-4 as well, there is another interesting game that is the best losers. 3-4. Who do you call it for?
France,
because that is equally an interesting game, if you ask me.
It's equally an interesting game, but I think we are going to see players that have not featured in this World Cup play tomorrow. Actually, Sunday morning. Because it's midnight.
It's midnight.
Sunday morning. We are going to see players that have not featured in this World Cup. France has played predominantly with the same starting 11 since the World Cup began. England, the same. So probably we are going to see the players that have not gotten minutes in this World Cup feature Sunday morning. Those are the players that we're going to see. And most likely Mbappe, because they're trying to chase that
best scorer,
8 goals to his name. Messi has also 8. Harry Kane has 6 in this. 6. Dembele has 5. So it's going to be interesting to see the players that have not played plus Mbappe playing, players that have not played plus Harry Kane playing.
I mean, in this World Cup, then one would ask the question, who are some of the players that came out and performed really well? Starting from the Mansa from DR Congo as well. We've seen some new entrants into the game who performed very, very well. And with that, then, how does the future of the game look like?
The future of the game is very bright. Let's take a look at the case of Spain. They have Lamine Yamal, who's 19 years of age. And he's the face of the team. They have Pau Kubasi, who's 19 years. He's played all the minutes in defense, marking some of the best players that we have in the world, but he still stood out. for them, you see, those are young players who are coming through the system, and we are going to see them for a very long time. Argentina, they have Nico Paz. He's just featured, I think, for how many games? He's just played roughly 2 games in this tournament because you have to take Messi out for him to play.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is very difficult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nico Paz, also very young, I think 21 years of age. Take a look at France. Olise, 21. How long are you going to see him?
True.
And remember, Olise has the most assists in this tournament. Right now, he's tied with Messi, 5 each. Yeah, at 21. So that guy is going to be there for a very long time. So the top teams have England. They have Nico Riley. He made a cameo, not a cameo. He's played all the games. The only game that he came out from the bench was against Argentina, but is equally young, 20 years of age. So most of these teams have very young players who they've introduced in this World Cup. Mexico had a 17-year-old who played for them in this tournament. He was coming from the bench. So you take a look at these teams. They've introduced us to what their future looks like. We have people who can carry that mantle
And
going
take
into the future.
Well, and now looking at some of the early losers, you have Brazil, you have Mexico.
Let me ask you.
Yes.
All these days that you've watched football,
Right.
you don't have a soft spot for Brazil?
I do.
Yeah.
But now that's what I'm saying. There is always that expectation when you hear World Cup.
Brazil.
You expect Brazil will be there. Now they are not. They seem to be fizzling out of the big scene. Even the last season, they did not do very well. I mean, Mexico at least tried. I think they did. I think they qualified from the group stage. But Brazil seems to be fading away slowly. What do you think is going on there?
I would want to go back to the words of their legendary captain, Cafu, who once said that once you have most Brazilians playing in the English Premier League, you're not going to win the World Cup because you've lost that Brazilian identity.
Right.
Now you're playing like European teams. But Brazil is a team that was known to entertain people with their samba football. But now they've lost that.
Yeah.
They don't have that identity anymore. You look at them, they're playing more like England.
Yes,
they're playing more like France.
They're
not playing like the Brazil that we used to watch back in the day. The way Ronaldinho used to entertain the crowds. They used to have the likes of Ronaldo. I mean, that is no longer there. So he said that once you have most people go to England, you're not going to.
And it's important
to win the World Cup.
If he needs to note, we are talking about the original Ronaldo.
Not CR7.
Not this other one.
So can we see a difference between that and what's happening in Spain, where the majority of the Spanish players actually play in the Spanish league? So that's what we would see would be a definite definer to say that this is literally a homegrown football. And as I listen to you, Robbie, some of the things that you talk about, that we know that whereas this is a sport where individuals come to their capacity, but then they're playing within the team setup, that they're showing examples of how they can bring the glory for themselves, but they bring the glory for country, whereby this sport, if anything, they become ambassadors for their countries. And who doesn't know that sports is one of the biggest ways in which you can promote a country? Now, as they do this, do they speak for, Ballon d'Or winners, and we look at, we look at all the leagues that play from, of course, FIFA, UEFA, the English Premier League, the Spanish League, the French League, all of this, the Bundesliga, all of this, they're the leagues, but then they speak for country. Is it about time that countries on the other side start to look and say, you know what, this is actually something that you can use to grow sports as ambassadors, to use it for your country's build-up? Can we get to that conversation? Is it a place that we can start to derive from?
Are you speaking about Africa?
Yes.
Yes, this side of the world.
This side of Sahara. Not the other side of the world.
No.
I think the problem with this side of the world is we've not actually opened our eyes and seen the true strength that sports has, the opportunity that sports brings to, in terms of economy, in terms of tourism and all that. We've not opened our eyes to that. You take a look at the World Cup being held in the USA, Mexico and Canada. In terms of, let's say, job opportunities, you see, like for one game, let's say now the final is being played at the Met Stadium,
Yes.
which is has a capacity of 82,000. And you ask yourself, how many job opportunities does that one game create?
Absolutely.
Just begin with the stewards, because you have the stewards that are on pitch side. You have the stewards that are on the first, after the first, I don't want to call it row. Yeah. I mean, there are lots of
You have
stewards.
various
aside
perimeters.
Perimeters. First perimeter, second and third. And then aside from that, look at the teams that are playing in that final.
Yeah.
Every team is assigned a media commissioner. Security. There's a bus. There are people that, the whole, like for one team, you'll have almost 200 people assigned to that team. Because when you have one media person for that team, but you also have under him, there are people that are in charge of every player if he's needed for media duties. So a team has 25 players. So those are 25 people that are employed for that.
26,
So you imagine all these opportunities just because of one team participating at the World
And
Cup.
one game.
And we had 48 teams. And we've not even spoken about the people preparing the ground.
Hotels,
accommodation.
food.
Yeah, I'm hoping 2027, when we do host the Africa Cup of Nations, these opportunities will be out there for Kenyans. I'm just hoping so, because this is an ecosystem that will create a lot of opportunities for people who, probably have not experienced that, or don't have those that opportunity to at least get something from such an ecosystem. And did you see that picture of Yamal and Messi?
Yes.
That was taken
Yes.
Yes.
when Yamal was born.
Yes.
19 years ago.
19 years ago.
By
He
UNICEF.
was right there, yes.
Well, they say things don't happen by mistake.
He's handing it over to him, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's handing over the mantle.
Oh, so we know who's winning. We definitely know who's winning.
It's a good idea to toy around
Yeah.
with. But remember, we had the same with, was it Maradona and Messi? Ronaldinho and other guys. So, I mean, it also goes to speak to inspiration. Or even Rooney and Keane.
Yes.
They've had similar moments. It's inspirational.
But it also shows you that nobody just comes out of nowhere.
True. So, which is something to be looked into in this structure or skewing we were talking about, whether things are predetermined in some way, or is it pure talent? However,
It's not free, fair, and verifiable.
Because the outcome has to be as good as the process. It is entertaining, and we need to see maybe moving forward, maybe less geopolitical interference, more talent appreciation. But maybe finally, for me, I would have to ask, how do you feel about the technological, let me not call it interference, but say
Advancement.
application? We have the VAR, we have that fourth referee we never used to have. How is that for you, given this is a sport you've been used to? It's a mind game,
I think this has been the World Cup where technology has been used the most, because even you look at the ball that is on the pitch, it's infused with AI, the Trionder. It's infused with AI. That is where we had that case of Portugal versus Croatia, where the ball touched somebody's hair, and the ref had said it's a goal, but then they had to go back to VAR, and then the AI data said the ball touched somebody before it touched that player's hair. Then the goal had to be ruled out. So I mean, we will always see technological advancement in sports, but I think with also with VR, as much as we don't enjoy football is not flowing the way it used to be. It's also made decision making better. Right now, we'll be caning referees. But it's made decision making better, and I think it's also made players more conscious about what they do on the pitch. Remember, coming into this World Cup, there were rules that were set that you cannot cover your mouth when talking to another player. So if you cover, then it means that probably you're abusing that player. So you don't have to cover, so that even if we lip read, we can actually get what you are saying to that player. So I think, yes.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Robbie, there is World Cup. We have AFCON. Where are we?
I mean, there are levels to this.
In Kenya.
There are levels to
No. Like in terms of
Technology
preparation
wise.
towards that, are we getting there? Are we getting ready, or tutapatikana kama tuko flat-footed?
I think so. At the moment, things are flowing, although not at the pace which they are supposed to be.
Okay. What does that mean?
Tunangoja nyasi ime pale nini? Talanta. Yeah, I saw them, sprinkling over the grass that is just sprouted. So hopefully, in a few weeks to come, we'll see a totally different playing surface. I saw Hoima Stadium, Uganda. It's coming up nicely. They've set up lots of things. The one in TZ also coming up nicely. The problem is here in Kenya, the training venues, that will be the problem. If they're not set up early, that will be the problem. Yeah.
And there's a ball.
Yeah, there's a ball.
Eva decided to bring the Trionda.
Yes.
She brought the Trionda. See what it looks like. Well, it'll be fun. So third and fourth place tomorrow, France takes on England, and then on Sunday, early Sunday morning, on this side of the world, that is. And so then after that, we see the final, and we'll see who lifts the cup between Argentina
Who are you advocating
and
for?
Spain.
Who are you watching for?
Well, this is it. I mean, looking at the tactical play, I'm going for Spain. This is it.
You shall be
Argentina,
disappointed.
man.
Team
Well,
Argentina.
let's
I play the
see.
goats, man.
You play
We'll
with
be
the
here
goals.
for you. We'll be here for you. Just like we're
So
here
at least
for Robbie
it's
because
equal,
of
eh?
Mape.
Let's
VAR equal.
Yes.
We see how it goes.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here with us this morning, Robinson. The very brilliant Robinson Okenya has been here talking to us about what's happening with the World Cup. Let's see who lifts the cup come Sunday. And thank you for keeping it in the Situation Room this whole week. That brings us to the end of it. Asante sana. Keep balling, essentially, is what
keep
we're asking
balling.
you to do. And watch even 10 minutes. Evelyn, Joylene, Mutanu, even 10 minutes. Skitty, Marion, 10 minutes.
Marion, there's someone called Kubasi.
Yes.
Sounds like he's
Sounds
from where
like
you are.
Comes from
And
where
a
you
red
come
card
from.
is not a red flag.
The red flag is not the one for your boyfriend. It's actually a flag on the pitch. Thank you, everybody, for keeping here in Situation Room. Keep listening, SpiceFM this morning.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.